today, I am going to recap a 2019 crime thriller movie named Kidnapping Stella. So, let's begin. The movie starts with showing a guy named Tom and another man just behind Tom trying to steal the car. After the car is opened, Tom sits in the car and it is revealed that the other man's name is Vic and they both work together. After this, both of them leave there and come to the supermarket, from where those people buy many different things, so that they make a room soundproof by taking it to their apartment. After this, those people make even that stolen vehicle soundproof. Then the next day we see both of them waiting for someone inside the same van. After a while a girl passes by, seeing that he puts a mask in his mouth and then kidnaps that girl and puts it in the same van. After this they bring that girl to the same room which they had made soundproof. Then they tie that girl to a bed present in that room. Later, Vic clicks some pictures of the girl and immediately makes her wear other clothes. It is on this we learn that the girl's name is Stella. After this, both of them ask Stella for her dad's phone number and email ID so that they can blackmail Stella's dad and ask for money, and Stella also gives them the number. When he comes out of the room, Vic leaves the apartment to send a picture of Stella's dad to her. On the way, he tells Tom to check on Stella every 10 minutes and Tom also obeys Vic and does the same. After a while Vic comes back to the apartment after sending a photo to Stella's dad and tells Tom so far no response to the email has come. Later both of them go to give food and water to Stella, where Vic tells Stella that now I am going to remove the bandage from your mouth. That's why you don't shout and this whole room is soundproof from above. Hearing this, Stella says yes in gestures. After removing the bandage, she starts screaming loudly. Seeing this, Vic closes his mouth and tells him once again that there is no point in doing this as the whole room is soundproof. After drinking a little water, Vic tells Stella that to go to the bathroom, she has to show a number or two numbers with his hand sign. That's when Stella shows a number. That is, she had to go to the toilet, but he brings a pot and asks Stella to do the toilet in front of him. Stella refuses to do this, but she has no other choice, so she has to obey him. After all these things we see that Tom was not feeling well and then he was completely disturbed that he wasn't even eating properly. When Vic notices all this, he starts feeding Tom forcibly. And seeing this, we understand that Vic is his boss. After this now Vic tells Tom that there is no use in thinking that we are doing all this right or wrong because we have been preparing for this for the last many months where and if because of your stupidity Stella got our identity. Guys, on hearing this, we come to know that both these men have already eaten the air of jail. After listening to the words of Vic, Tom apologizes to him and says that he will not do any mistake again. Then Tom checks Stella's photo as soon as Vic leaves, which makes him feel very bad for Stella. And when he comes to her room to check on Stella, just then, Stella tells that she needs to do the potty. Tom comes with a bucket and opens Stella's hands and feet and asks her to potty in front of him. But Stella refuses to do so in front of Tom, so Tom turns back. Stella takes advantage of this opportunity and attacks Tom by picking up the bucket, due to which Tom's gun falls down. Then Stella picks up the gun and points to Tom and asks to open his handcuff. After opening the same handcuff, Tom comes up to her, but Stella fires a shot to scare Tom and quickly takes off Tom's mask. However, when Stella sees Tom's face, we learn that Stella already knows Tom and that they were in a relationship before. Then on asking Stella, Tom tells that when I was in jail, you did not come to meet me even once and suddenly left me. That's why I plan to kidnap you with Vic. While telling all this, Tom jumps on Stella and snatches that gun from him and binds him again with bad. Then he tells Stella that if his partner Vic comes to know about this, then he will kill both of us, and after a while Vic also comes back. Vic tells Tom that Stella's father has refused to give him the money, so those people have to try something else. The next day they both bring a camera to Stella's room and Vic tells Stella that your dad has refused to give us money, so we will cut your finger and make a video in your father so that he agrees to send the money. Stella gets very scared and forbids him to do so. Vic does not listen to her words. Tom is shocked to hear that Stella tells that she is pregnant, and Tom forbids Vic to cut Stella's finger and says that we have recorded enough that Stella's father will be forced to give us money. Next, when Vic was feeding Stella, then Stella says that she wants to eat from Tom's hand. Hearing this, Vic flatly refuses. Just then, Tom catches the bullet which Stella had fired at him a while back. Seeing this, Tom tries to lift her up, but Vic asks him to stand in his place. After he is done feeding Stella, the spoon falls down, which on the pretext of lifting Tom also picks up the bullet. Then coming out, Tom tries to flush that bullet in the toilet, but that bullet was not getting flushed. Vic gets suspicious after hearing the sound of the same flush, so he starts calling Tom and comes inside the bathroom. But at the same time Tom swallows that bullet, due to which he narrowly escapes. Next, Vic goes out to send videos to Stella's dad. When he goes out to send the video, Tom goes to Stella and asks if she is really pregnant. On this, Stella tells her that she is really pregnant and this child also belongs to her. Tom could not believe this. Then Stella says that you will get the pregnancy report on my phone. Hearing this, Tom immediately rushes to turn on Stella's phone. But soon he realizes that if he turns on the phone, the police can track him. So when the phone is turned off, Stella starts vomiting, seeing that Tom opens her handcuffs. Seeing Tom here, Stella seduces him, and when Tom is not paying attention, she cleverly ties Tom with handcuffs. Stella then tries to go out, but the door was locked. Seeing this, she calls the police from Tom's phone and tells her whole situation. Then the police ask Stella for her location so that they can come and rescue her. But Stella would not have known its location. Then Stella's eyes fall on the key to the door, which Tom was trying to lift. Seeing this, Stella goes to pick up that key. But then Tom takes a chance and hits Stella on the head, causing her to faint. After which he binds Stella again on bed. After a while, when Vic comes on the shed, Tom behaves as if nothing has happened. Vic gives Tom the good news that Stella's dad has agreed to give him the money, so they have to get out of it today. Hearing this, Tom goes out and prepares the van. During this time, he was looking at Stella's goods there. Then he gets the pregnancy report there, after reading which Tom is convinced that Stella is really pregnant. On the other hand, when Vic goes to pick up Stella, then he finds Tom's mobile there, which upon checking, he comes to know that Stella had called the police from the phone. In the companion, he also finds that bullet there, which Stella had fired on Tom some time ago. Seeing all this, Vic understands that something is wrong. That's why Vic tortures Stella and asks what is going on here and what are you guys hiding from me. Stella is also very much scared of all this, and she tells Vic that Tom is her ex-boyfriend. After hearing this, Vic thinks that Tom must have told Stella about her too, so asks Stella for her name. But Stella says she doesn't know her name. When Tom comes back, Vic asks him, why did you choose to kidnap Stella? To this, Tom says that we both thought of kidnap Stella together. After hearing this, Vic tells Tom that we both should be honest with each other and are you hiding anything from me? Tom says that I am honest and I am not hiding anything from you. After this, they make Stella unconscious and bring it to another location. Here, while tying up Stella, Tom sees that Stella is hurt, which makes him think that Vic has hit Stella. Then Vic asks him for his key. Then Tom also gives him the key so that Vic does not suspect him. Then they go inside the forest to get money from Stella's dad, where Tom sees that there is no money there. When Tom tells Vic about this, Vic says that I know that we have changed the location to collect the money. Saying this, Vic points the gun at Tom so that Tom understands that Vic has come to know the truth about him and Stella. So he also tells his everything about himself and Stella. Now after hearing the whole story, Vic was about to shoot at Tom when Tom dodges Vic and runs away. When Tom had gone a little far, Vic fires from a distance which hits Tom, but by the time Vic comes there and sees Tom had run away. After this, Vic comes back to Stella with the money given by Stella's father from another place. Here by now Vic had made up his intention to kill Stella, so he proceeds to inject a venom that swept Stella. But before that, Tom comes and attacks him, but because Vic had a gun, he shoots Tom with that gun. After this, Vic was about to kill Tom with the last shot when Stella knocks Vic down with her feet. Meanwhile, Tom gets the gun in his hand, after which he shoots Vic without wasting time and kills him, due to which Vic dies there. By now Tom was also badly injured, but he somehow manages to get the key out of Vic's pocket and gives it to Stella, so that Stella frees herself. Tom was badly injured due to 2 bullets, so he dies on the same time. After this, Stella leaves from there and sits in Vic's car, and that money was too much, but Stella decided that she would not go back to her house because Stella hated her father. And first, from above at the bar, Stella's father had refused to give money to save Stella. Keeping these things in mind, Stella takes a decision. Will she start her new life and give birth to her child? After this, the movie ends here. I hope you enjoyed the video, so click any video of 3 of them and enjoy next. Please don't forget to subscribe our channel, and please like the video and tell us in the comment how you like the video. I see you soon.